Broadcasting the booster sport of the fastest game in the world. So strap on your lids and lace them up, Rook. You're listening to the Barn Chirpers Hockey Podcast. Shake them up. Clap it up, boys. Clap it up. Welcome back to another fun-filled episode. Fun-filled? Maybe it'll be fun. I'm going to have fun. Justin's going to have fun. We're the Barn Chirpers. You know that because you're listening to us, hopefully. Interact with us at Barn Chirpers Pod on the Instagram and the threads. Hit that like, subscribe, 5-star review, all that good stuff. We would appreciate it. Justin, looking good in that Devils sweater. Listen, actually, I'm changing up. I know we talked about what the rundown was going to be, but I'm going to take credit because I'm wearing my OV sweater. I'm going to go ahead and take credit for all of the superstars, quote unquote, that are supposed to be superstars, not showing up. And then all of a sudden they show up after I chirp them. I'm looking at you, PLD. He just scored a goal. Good for you, PLD. Austin Matthews, he keeps scoring goals. I mean, the Toronto Maple Leafs suck and they keep losing. But, he scores a goal. I chirp Jonathan Huberdeau. He scores a goal. I chirp the Calgary Flames. They start winning. I chirp my own guy, my own team, and my own guy, Alex Ovechkin. He's on a 5-game heater. So I'm going to go ahead and take credit for all of these superstars actually showing up because I'm calling them out. Somebody is finally calling them out, and they're like, you know what? Joe's right. I should show up because I'm getting paid all this money to be a superstar, so I'm going to be a superstar. So to that point, I'm making a note that I love your Marty sweater because obviously Marty has a soft spot in my heart. I'm going to chirp a guy that is getting paid a lot of money that doesn't show up, Justin, and that's Timo Meier. I need Timo to show up because he's getting paid a lot of money to not do anything. So I'm marking this because we know the history. Every time I chirp somebody, they show up. So here's to Timo Meier actually showing up and being a superstar that he's supposed to be. Justin?
So, I mean, you bring that up and, he's obviously not on a tear yet, but he's been looking good out there, man. And, we need the points. That's why we got him. But, last night or the night before he gets an assist. Last night he gets a dirty, grimy goal, like this is why we got you goal. So we're starting to see Timo, but we're 50 games into the season, man. Like we need more. I mean, it's not a wash, but show up, man. Like we need you to stay on the ice and we need you to look like we need you to do. We need Timo time, man. So yes,
I mean, it's been about a year now since he joined the team. Mm-hmm. So you can't say it's, getting used to the squad, getting used to the city. You've had a full year now, just about. Maybe give or take a week or two, but you've had a year in Jersey now at this point. So you kind of need to show up. You're getting paid a lot of money. So you need to show up. But again, hey, every time I do this, the guys show up. So I mean, this is me encouraging Timo. I'm calling you out, Timo. I know you're listening to this podcast right now and you subscribe and you listen and you even left a 5-star review. I know it was you, the anonymous one, but listen, buddy, you need to show up. So, somebody else that showed up over this weekend, Justin, and it's getting a whole lot of buzz around the league, around a whole bunch of other podcasts around the league. And that's Ridley Craig. Ridley Craig. Greg, his name's weird, but I think it's Greg. Greek. Yeah. It's Greek, Ridley Greek of the Ottawa Senators. I'm going to lay this out for everybody that if you haven't seen it, but if you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. Just put in the YouTube Ottawa Senators empty net goal, and it's going to be great. But so the Ottawa Senators are beating the Toronto Maple Leafs 4-3 on home ice. This was the other day. Maybe it was this weekend. I forget what day. But the goalie is pulled. So empty net for Toronto. Morgan Rielly takes a shot. It's blocked by Ridley Craig. He gets on a break, gets a breakaway pass. He's all alone. He's skating down the ice, rips an absolute clapper from the top of the circles into the empty net to seal the victory for the Ottawa Senators. And we'll get to the other parts of this, but so he's, is skating around. And Morgan Rielly comes up from behind and cross-checks him in the face. This starts a little bit of a teeny tiny scuffle. We'll go on from there. But here's the thing, Justin, and I'm going to send this to you. I'll ask you a couple questions here. Number one, did you enjoy seeing the empty net slap shot? Number two, do you think Morgan Riley was justified in what he did? And number three, what are your thoughts on Ottawa fans and Toronto fans getting all up in arms for each side's actions? Go ahead.
Do I enjoy seeing it? Yeah. I mean, the game needs flash. I mean, they need things like this. Like this is something that can break outside of Joe and Justin watching hockey, which we do anyway. Like people that don't watch the game are going to see something like this. Riley's actions absolutely unjustified. I don't like it. I think I can understand being defensive. I can understand, hey, don't be so flashy on the empty net. It's just an empty net. Like, should he have done it? That's up in the air. Like I said, I think that something like that has the potential to go outside of hockey circles. So ultimately, it's a net positive. I can understand why somebody would be in their feelings on it. There's a way, I don't know. There's a way to avoid that though. Like, I don't know, maybe don't have an empty net, which means, I don't know, maybe win the game. So, yeah. As far as fans getting up in arms, I feel like fans are getting up in arms about everything, like in every walk of life.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love it for Ottawa because they've kind of been a doormat all season, and here's a chance for them to kind of like insert themselves into the bigger hockey conversation for something other than, hey, we stink. I mean, it sucks that it took them this long to come alive, but at least it's something. And if you're Toronto, you need to be bigger than this, because what have you done ever? Like, I mean, I know you've done something, but how long has that something been?
Yeah, you've won one round before.
Yes. So, fans are going to do that, and it seems to be ever increasing. Again, you get like these heated convos, I think, are ultimately a net positive because it's people, conversing, and that's what makes something trend. So ultimately net positive. Ultimately, this whole situation to me is net positive, except for Riley's reaction. I think he went too far. I can understand being upset at the slapper, but also I don't think it warrants getting hit in the face. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess as a blanket, I'm going to say I love this whole situation, other than the cross check in the face. But across the board, I love this for hockey. And I'm going to go into that a little bit more here. Number one, Ottawa is a trash team. We know that this year that their season's basically over. Like, they can't win a game to save their life. But on home ice, and you have the Toronto Maple Leafs coming in, and we all know that the Toronto fans are like, oh, we're the Toronto Maple Leafs. We're so good. We have Austin Matthews. We have Willie Nylander, blah, blah, blah. And even the Toronto Maple Leafs have that bravado of like, we're the Toronto Maple Leafs. We have Austin. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They come into Ottawa, and they're losing the game. Ottawa's about to beat them. So you block a shot, and then you get on a breakaway. Heck yeah, take a wind-up slap shot, because screw you. You came into our barn, and we beat you. This big, bad monster, I'm doing quotations if you're not watching on YouTube, this big, bad monster, the Toronto Maple Leafs, guess what? We, a crappy team, just beat you. And yes, I'm going to put it in your empty net however I want to, because I can. Here's the caveat with that, because Ridley Gregg is kind of a little bit of a pest, right? He's a little bit of a guy that's going to get under your skin, right? And he's trying to make a name for himself. So again, I fully support his actions. However, if I was him, I would have been more prepared that something was going to happen, because if we go to the quote unquote, the code, right? You don't do that, right? That's the age old unwritten rules of hockey, right? Every sport has them. So he should have expected that something was going to happen. So to turn your back, and I'm going to put it in wrestling terms here, you never turn your back on the opponent, especially if you're going to do that. So I guess one way that he could have also done it is literally scored the empty net goal as a, just put it in the net. And then he could have walked or skated right by the bench and chirped the crap out of them. You know what I mean? He could have done that too, which probably could have also caused a little bit of a quote unquote riot. Again, I'm going to do a lot of quote unquotes because we're talking about the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are soft. Come at me. They are soft. So going back to it, I love that he did the wind-up slap shot. If I was him, though, like, you got to watch your back a little bit, bud. Like, you can't turn your back and not expect something to happen. To that same point, I don't hate that Morgan Rielly hit him. Now, I don't love that it was a cross-check to the face because you took a really wussy way out, bud. Like, I understand you have to stand up for your team because, again, nobody else is going to. Put a pin in that. We talk about the Bruins and the Maple Leafs. This was many, many weeks ago. Brad Marchand did a quote-unquote cheap hit, right? And guess who didn't stand up? The guy who's supposed to, Ryan Reeves. He didn't do anything about it. The next game when they played, didn't do anything about it. The Maple Leafs are soft. Nobody's going to stand up. Nobody's going to fight. Nobody's going to actually do anything and take action for something like that. They're literally not. They are the softest team in the league. I'm going to say it right now. Maple Leafs fans, please come at me, please, because they are the softest team in the league. They're not going to do anything. You think Auston Matthews is going to do anything? No. Mitch Marner? No. Johnny Toedrags? No. Willie Nylander? No. Even Ryan Reeves, he's not going to do anything. He hasn't done it all year. So to go back to my point, Morgan Rielly took the cheap way out. Yes, he was standing up for an embarrassing thing, right? As you should. But if you were a true tough guy, right? You're kind of fake tough right now by doing a cross check to the face when he wasn't even looking at you. Turn him around and drop the gloves and punch him in the face, because that's what a real tough guy would do. But instead, you skated up behind him, and then you waited for him to turn around, and then you cross check him right in the face. Get out of here, dude. You're not tough. You're soft, just like your whole team. But again, I am applauding him actually doing something. I don't love as a cross check to the face. And then after that, like, there's a scrum, if you want to call it that, but everybody's like just barely hanging on a jersey, laughing and coking and joking. Because again, what do we talk about when we talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs? When they lose, it's always like, oh, ho hum. We'll get them again the next time. Well, whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and go get some more clothes and get my fashion on and, maybe trim my mustache a little bit, but maybe not. You know what I mean? Like, it's so ho-hum. And that's why I say the Toronto Maple Leafs are soft. So any Maple Leafs fans, please come at me at Barn Chirpers Pod and prove me wrong, because right now you can't. So this whole situation, again, I love it for the game, actually, because it gets people talking. I love Grieg's slap shot. Love it. I wish he would have paid more attention and like something's going to happen. Because if he did, he could have been watching Morgan Rielly come after him and punch him in the face. Morgan Rielly, I don't love the cross check to the face, but at least somebody stood up for what happened. He did just get suspended for 5 games. It just came up for this. And I have to, because we've been preaching about player safety being crappy this whole year, I have to, in that case, support it, because it was a cross check to the face. David Perron did the same thing basically after a cheap shot. He got 6 games for that. Mangiapane cross-checked Jared McCann on the ice and smashed his face to the ice and only got 2 games. So overall, player safety is just bullcrap. We know this. But in the sense of that, like, I have to stand by this 5-game suspension because, yeah, he hit him in the face. Even though I really don't think he should have been suspended, but he hit him in the face. So suspension, right? I know that was really long-winded and a lot of things, but at the end of the day, like, some fire, man. I love to see some fire from Ottawa. And allegedly, I don't know this to be certain, but I was listening to another hockey podcast this morning. Allegedly, Ridley Grieg got scolded after the game by the general manager, allegedly, for doing that. So, I mean, that sucks, man, if it's true. Claude Giroux didn't really praise him in his post-game interview either. He didn't bury him, but he didn't really praise him either for, you know what I mean? So weird times in Ottawa. But again, at the end of the day, I love it across the board. And also Toronto is soft. Come at me.
I want to pile on Toronto here for a second, because
let's do it. I love piling on Toronto.
because I mean, you mentioned the ho hum attitude, which is the problem we've had with them since the start of the show. Is they lose in the playoffs, and it's oh well, And at this point, at the time of talking, New Jersey is 3 points, I think, behind Toronto in the playoff race, and New Jersey's out right now. I think we're two back of Detroit, 3 back of Toronto. If we catch them and Detroit levels out and plays well, Toronto's out. I know you called it a couple weeks ago, but if you're Toronto, are you not out of ho hum losses? Like, especially one where you just got embarrassed by a slap shot. Like, again, the overreaction to the face is the problem, but not the fact that he stood up for his team. But why is he the only one? Like, why don't you wait till the puck drops and then everybody drops gloves? I've seen moments like that. If you're really embarrassed that you just lost to one of the worst teams in the league, do something about it. You're about to be out of the playoffs. I'm not trying to. I've lowered my expectations for the season for my boys, but they're looking good right now. And Detroit, gets destroyed last night, so who knows with them? But it's not a sure thing that you're in. People are catching up, and if you're Toronto, you need to wake up because Tampa already caught and passed them and is starting to create some space, and they're Tampa. They're going to play physical. So if you're Toronto, I want to echo Joe's sentiments. Stop. I mean, look, I can't say but so much because Devils are probably the second softest team in the league, but Toronto, you soft, Jack.
Well, I'm going to say 2 more things, and then we'll move on. The first thing being, there's a team in the West that has more regulation wins and less overtime losses than the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they have the same amount of points, and that's the St. Louis Blues. The St. Louis Blues, who have nobody, and they have more regulation wins than the Toronto Maple Leafs. So just let that sink in a little bit. The second thing I'm going to say is, I will say it right now, timestamp. It's 2/14/24 right now. So happy Valentine's Day to all of you out there that celebrate that. I'm going to timestamp it right now. If the Toronto Maple Leafs have can by somehow, some way win 2 rounds of the playoffs, number 1, get in the playoffs, and 2, win 2 rounds, I will buy a home blue Austin Matthews jersey and wear it for an entire year of this show. I'm timestamping it right now. Because you know what, Jack? It's never going to happen. It will never happen. But there's the bet. I'm laying it down right now. Toronto Maple Leafs get in the playoffs, win 2 rounds. I will buy an Austin Matthews, Mustache Matthews jersey, home blue, and I will wear it for an entire 52 episodes of this show. I'll do it. Because I can make a bet like that because it's never going to happen because they don't have going back. I guess it's 3 things. Going back to one other thing that you said when I passed it back to you, they have no compete. There's no compete on this squad. Literally none. They don't have any grit, any drive, any okay, we're down by 2. Let's score and get after it. They don't have any of that. You watch them. And again, it's like, ho hum, ho hum, ho hum. Anyway, that's the bet. Again, I'll say it again one more time. If you just tuned in somehow, if it came to the 19th minute of this episode, you didn't hear the previous 18. If the Toronto Maple Leafs, number 1, make it in the playoffs, number 2, win 2 rounds, I will buy an Austin Matthews sweater and wear it for 52 straight episodes of this show. And I will eat that crow if it actually happened. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But I'll eat crow if I'm wrong. Again, we say it all the time on the show. Prove me wrong. If you prove me wrong, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But it's not going to happen. Moving on, we talked a little bit about the playoff picture, Justin, and this is the segment that I didn't tell you about. I said I was going to spring it on you because I want your honest live reaction. We are essentially about 50 or so games into the season, so everybody's got about 30 games left. Name me, and it could be the West, it could be the East, it could be a mixture of both. I would love to know how many true Stanley Cup contenders you see in this league right now. How many Stanley Cup contenders?
How
True
many
contenders.
actual contenders?
Actual contenders.
1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 5, and I feel like I'm being kind of generous there. It's for me. It's hard to count out. I'll walk you through it, which I assume is why you asked this. I'll walk you through it.
Of course, we're trying to fill some time here.
You can't count out Vegas until they're officially out, right?
Yep.
And I mean,
Accurate.
they're right there, so it's not like they're way out of it. I still don't buy Edmonton. They went on a heater and they're a good hockey team, but I don't think they're a contender. Again, this is one of those things where like Vancouver's a full 10 points ahead of Vegas. I didn't realize that. I think Vancouver's legit. Whether they can do it or not, the question is, are they a contender? I think so. I don't want to play them in the playoffs. We'll see what happens comes playoff time, but as of right now, I think Vancouver is. Dallas is another one of those teams that I can't count out until they're out. I love watching Dallas play. They're experienced in the playoffs. So Colorado, same thing. Until they're out, it's hard to say they're out. And honestly, I don't know if anybody in the East has that other than Boston. That thing when you watch them play that says, yeah, we're gonna get it done. We're gonna win 12 games and go to the Stanley Cup. So maybe I'm overselling, or maybe I'm underselling some teams, but Vancouver, Vegas, Dallas, and Colorado to me are the legit. And if I'm throwing anybody from the East, it's Boston. I feel like everybody else is kind of beatable. So
I think that's all pretty fair, actually. You kind of touched on most of the squads that I talked about. I also, Vancouver, I think is a true threat just because of all the tools that they've added since the beginning of the year, and they continue to win. Vegas, like you said, can't count them out until they're actually done. Right. We made that mistake last year. Same. I don't believe, Edmonton went on a great run and they could go on another run now after this All-Star break. They very well could. They very well could end up in second in the Pacific or even win the Pacific if they really get on another heater. But I don't really believe them because while Stu has been great lately, but before that, at the beginning, he was not great. And we know that he choked when playoff time came. So I don't believe Edmonton. So I agree with you on Vancouver and Vegas staying in the West. I was just looking at this entire year, and Dallas to me is also a true contender. They have only been blown out 2 times this year, a 4-1 loss to Tampa Bay and a 6-1 loss to the Vegas Golden Knights. Every other game that they've won by blowouts, but every other game has been 1 or 2 goal losses. Maybe from what I saw, I might've missed a couple. I very well could have, but they only have 2 blowout losses. So that says something to me because likewise, I love what Colorado is doing, especially Nate Dogg is just owning everybody right now. I love that. But man, Georgiev is on pace to start like 60 plus games. They need to get a solid backup, number one. And number two, I went through Colorado's so far season this year, and they have 4 blowout losses that they've lost 7-0, 4-1, 6-2. Like they've lost a couple extra, blowout games. And does that really matter big time in the grand scheme of things? Maybe not, but I don't see them as a true contender right now because they only have Georgiev. And listen, we know without a tandem these days, goalies don't stand a chance without a solid
Mm-hmm.
tandem these days. We've seen it since, shoot, I don't know. I mean, at least the last 5 seasons, 3 to 5 seasons or so ish. I think Vazzy is the exception, not the rule.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that 2020 season is bogus. Like, eh, 2020 doesn't really count truly, and 2021 was, was that a real season? You know what I mean? Um, so Dallas, Vancouver, Vegas in the West. Um, Honorable mention Winnipeg, but I mean, are they a true cup contender? I would love to see it, but I don't know that they're a true cup contender. I can't definitively say that they are. In the East, I agree with you on Boston. For whatever, we say this many times in the show, we thought they were going to really tank this year, and they are still steady as she goes. It's not, record breaking like last year, but they've been in first in the Atlantic essentially the entire year. They're
Mm-hmm.
a true cup contender, no doubt. And the only other one that I am actually looking at from the East, and it's not the Regs and it's not the Hurricanes, it's actually the Florida Panthers, because they have just that. We talked about compete earlier, that the Maple Leafs lack. Florida has compete. They don't stop. Sam Reinhart is carrying that team. Everybody else is pitching in. Your Haggies, your Matty Kaklutches, obviously Barkov. Everybody's pitching in. Bobrovsky is doing well, being a solid goaltender. Um, they're having a solid year, and they just don't quit. So I do think it's going a little bit higher to call Florida a true cup contender, but I'm throwing them in that mix because they have that compete. And it's the same compete that we saw last year in the playoffs. They have not lost it at all going into this year too. So yeah, my definitive are Boston, Florida, Dallas, Vancouver, and Vegas.
We're pretty much the same place. I don't know how I got lost in that. I think it's just recency bias with Colorado. You watch them, and but yeah,
Sure.
Georgiev just playing so much that he's going to be,
and he's not
tapped.
playing bad either. He's playing, he's playing well, but man, like you throw that many starts on a guy that has never started that many before, and then you also want him to carry you through the playoffs, because as we've seen so far, tandems don't happen in the playoffs. Like you pick a guy and you go with them, which is the classic, what you do, you ride the hot hand. But yeah, so they need to get they need to get somebody to back him up and take some of the work off of him. Otherwise, you very well could see a downfall when the playoffs come. So we don't want that. So yeah, we're pretty on par. Moving on, this is our segment that everybody loves to hear. It's the 3 stars of the week, and we're going to do it a little bit different, bringing it back since it's been a few weeks since we did it. We are each going to pick 3 guys that we think deserve a nod, and we're going with guys that maybe don't necessarily actually top the standings, but maybe they're having a good year. Maybe they've had a good couple of weeks. Maybe they've just caught our eye, like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize he was having such a good year. So Justin, do you have one that you want to start with, or I can go if you don't have one?
Well, I'm going to get the homer out of the way. I'll go first with the homer. I got to. The Devils have, since the break, other than Calgary, and that was just some really bad eggs from Vaney letting 3 that just should not have gone in. Anyway, Nico Daws, he played the back-to-back this week. He played against Seattle on Monday. Yeah, Seattle on Monday. And I think he stopped like 28, 29 shots, pretty close to 30. And he plays the back-to-back. He played Nashville last night too, and looked really sharp in net against Nashville. And again, it's Seattle and Nashville, but those are 2 teams very much alive in the playoff race. And he just looks composed back there. And for a couple times he's gotten just shelled, to come out and still just look composed. The team needed that. He needed that. So I want to give some love to Nico Daws, and especially since this is kind of like, these aren't necessarily top of the league guys. He gave up 2 goals in no, 3 goals in 2 games. You know, it's not amazing, but it's needed for this team. So, Nico Dawes.
I can see that. He's also a guy that wasn't on the starting squad to begin the year. He's come in and
Mhm.
earned a spot. So I mean, that's we stick taps to that. Here's a guy, Justin, that we have never talked about, and he has kept the Islanders within a playoff spot. I mean, they're fourth in the wild card right now. They're 5 points, or excuse me, 3 points out from having a wild card spot. He is number 5 in the league with the most assists, and he's just under guys that are, you know, naturally killing it behind McDavid, Kucherov, McKinnon, and Hughes. 7 goals, 48 assists, plus 20, 21 power play points, 123 shots, 58 hits. Noah Dobson. Where did this guy come from of the New York Islanders? Where did he come from? Like, this guy is clearly on every one of the score sheets, seemingly, to keep. Obviously, we know Islanders don't score a lot of goals. So for him to have 48 assists, wow. I'll be honest. I look at the scoreboard every single morning when I'm eating breakfast. I usually
Mhm.
skip the Islanders because I don't care. So
Right.
I'm honestly going to have to start looking at this to see what Noah Dobson is doing. I wish I would have grabbed him at some point. He's not available in fantasy. I wish I would have grabbed him because he's almost a point per game. Well, yeah, he's over a point per game guy because he has 56 points if my math is correct. So Noah Dobson.
Look at that. If anybody knows anything about me, I I always latch on to guys who hit on in fantasy. And this is a guy
Now
I
that
picked up at random last year at the end of the year, just because he played for the Preds. We had went to see him. He was doing pretty well with hits, and this year he's leading the league in hits. And I love to see it. It's a guy on the Preds. It's Jeremy Lazan,
Ooh,
defender for the Nashville Predators. This
okay.
dude just lays hits, man. And I mean, again, are they winning yet? You know, they're around. They're hanging around.
They're, they're still in the hunt.
But last night, you know, the thing that Dano kept talking about is like this is big physical team, and you don't even think about it, but yeah, they are. They have veteran presence, and this kid Lazon going out there and lowering the boom on people. Is that a reason to give somebody the star? I don't know, but if you're me, yeah, absolutely, love to see it.
Oh, we must be on a delay again. Wonderful.
Ah,
Okay, I'm going to. My next guy is yeah. I'm not. I didn't hear that last part. So, but I know you picked Jeremy Lozon. So, I support. Yeah, I mean, he. You know, we. What am I trying to say? We love a mustard cat reference. So
mhm.
I'm here for it. This guy, speaking of the mustard cats, this is actually kind of a tie because I see these guys on the score sheet all the time. I'm going to go with this guy, though, Tommy Novak of the Nashville Predators. He is consistently on the score sheet for the Preds, again, keeping them in the playoff hunt. I mean, he's a little bit less than a point per game guy. He kind of goes on streaks here a little bit, but he's a guy that he's adding depth to this squad. His stat line, I mean, only 10 goals, 16 assists. He is a dash 10, 7 power play points, 68 shots on goal, and 4 hits. But again, seemingly every couple of games, he goes on a little bit of a streak where he gets 3 or 4 in a row for a couple of games. Then he goes a little quiet. But a solid depth guy at the end of the day. And you're just looking at the Preds still being in a playoff picture. So I'm giving some love to Tommy Novak.
This again, call it recency bias, but I just looked up his stats for the year. A plus 20, Joe. This is a guy we were just talking about for his empty net shenanigans. I want to give him a little bit more love here. Again, he got the world talking about hockey. You love to see it. So that's number one. But on a terrible team like the Sens, you're a plus 20. That means you're doing something out there. Let's see his entire season line. 9 goals, 11 assists, 61 shots on goal, 69 hits. So he's pretty well rounded. But it's that plus 20, which means he's not the one getting torched. He's not the one getting scorched out there. So Ridley Greig, how about him? How about him? Or Greg or Greig or Craig or
Ridley, how about that?
Yeah.
I think it's Greig, but either way, we've talked about him twice on this show. So he's gonna be trending worldwide. This last guy I want to talk about, Justin, and I didn't realize this until I just added it up, but in 186 games played for this team, he has 189 points. Let that sink in first. Also, this team has not been good since they won the Cup a handful of years ago, but every season he has been a plus 29, plus 14, plus 10. So he's not the problem, right? He's scoring goals. He's being on the plus side of things. It's Pavel Buchnevich, Justin, 189 points in 186 games played for the St. Louis Blues. I had no idea that this guy was doing such big things on this squad. I don't watch a whole lot of Blues games, so there's that, and he just has never been on my radar. Other than on Chell when I'm playing the video game and I like to hit him because I like to hear, oh, Buchnevich. But I'm giving this guy some love. Like, how is it on a terrible, not good team for 3 seasons he's been on the St. Louis Blues and he's putting up those type of numbers? Like, that's insane to me. That, like, stick taps to Pavel Buchnevich.
No, man, like that's crazy. I mean, I always end up with him on my fantasy club every year, and I never realize why.
As you should.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like he's burning, he's not setting the world on fire. It's just he's doing enough, like
consistency.
Spread over. And we're aware of him because we drafted him on our Sharks club when Corey and I were doing NHL 2023 last year.
Corey, who's that?
He'll never hear this.
I know he won't. He'll never be on the show either.
Yeah, but no, man, I love to see it. You love again. It's hard to chirp the Blues too hard because they're clinging on to a playoff spot right now. But like, I don't know how. The few Blues games I've watched, it's just like, how? Like they're I don't understand how they're winning. I say they got nobody. They got Matchbox 20. They got Buchnevich. What else? So I mean, it's something else there in St. Louis. Love to see the love for Buchnevich.
And it's weird that I'm saying this, and I've said it before on the show, but Binnington hasn't gotten in any fights this year, which is great. I shouldn't have to say that. But hey, great job, Binnington. You've been doing what you're not supposed, or excuse me, you've been doing what you're supposed to do and just stay in the net and stop the pucks. Good for you. I don't know why we're giving a gold star for that, but anyway, okay. Let's pull the goalie here and get out of here. A couple of hot shots here for you, Justin. This came out after our episode last week. The NHL has received expansion interest from Salt Lake City, Atlanta, Houston, Cincinnati, Kansas City, and Omaha, of all places. If you had to pick one of those cities, Justin, which one would you want to see it? Well, actually, you have to pick 2 to make the league even. So where are you putting the 2 new teams if you had to pick 2 places?
All right. So if this is going off want based on those, want Cincinnati, I guess. I don't recall hearing much else east. Omaha, Nebraska is weird, man. I don't get
That's
that
the
one.
weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I mean, I guess hockey could be big there. I don't know, but who's going? Who lives there? Like, sorry if you live in Nebraska, but and I guess Salt Lake registers high for me just because there at least there's winter there.
Yep.
It seems like they should be able to support a hockey club. So if we're going with want, which I think is very different than what the league is going to do,
Mm-hmm.
then it's Cincinnati and Salt Lake.
Yeah, I don't love the Kansas City and Omaha, Nebraska. I don't think you can grow the league in Nebraska. I mean, they get winter, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't feel like there's a lot going on there. Definitely not Kansas City. I could see that, like, oh, we have a built-in rivalry with St. Louis. No, no, that doesn't need to happen. That doesn't need to happen. It's too close. Cincinnati, I think, would be fun. You could have that built-in rivalry with Columbus, with Chicago, with Detroit, with Minnesota. And you wouldn't have to, if my geography is correct, you wouldn't have to. Yeah, it would fit where they'd be in the East as well, because they're actually a little more south and east of Columbus, I believe. So
I think so. Yeah.
And yeah, I don't love Atlanta. I don't love Houston either. Dallas is the only Texas team that needs to be there. So I have to. I wish I could be contrarian, but Salt Lake makes sense and Cincinnati makes sense if I had to pick. If I absolutely had to. In other maybe relocation news, Utah Jazz owner Ryan Smith has offered to purchase the Arizona Coyotes for a, quote, significant sum, end quote. This was reported 6 days ago. And again, this would essentially be the potential move to Salt Lake for the Yotes, probably.
I hate it. Again, it's less about problems with Salt Lake. It's more about losing the Yotes. And I think we might have touched on this last week, but like the fact that whenever we went to Blink last year in DC, you and I were just chirping the Coyotes for like, while we're waiting for Blink to come on, we're just looking up stats at how bad the Coyotes have been forever. And it's just like, why do they exist? Why do they exist? And then they go and make some moves and we're like, oh, okay. So they're not just going to lay down. And then you watch them play and it's like, oh man, fun. And now they're going to be gone. Golly, man, you hate to see it.
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't want them to move, but it's like, man, how much longer are you gonna? You can't stay at Mullet forever.
Yep.
It's a college barn. Like, that is insulting for a NHL club. Truly, if it was an in between where they were building an arena, okay, but we're going on the second season now. Going to be at least 2 more, unless they move. So I don't want to see it, but. Yeah. Moving on, the first ever PWHL trade occurred last week. Minnesota receives Sophie Jacks, a defender from Boston, and Boston sends over a forward, Susanna Tapini, and Abby Cook, a defender. First trade to ever happen in the PWHL. I'm not familiar with any of these players, but I mean, Sophie Jacks must hold some value to get two players in that trade.
And again, I saw somebody saying trading players already ? Somewhere, probably read it. I get it. I get what you're saying, but also if somebody's just not gelling, or if somebody doesn't have a place, like they're not getting ice time, or you have somebody else that you want to see get some ice time, that somebody's just not fitting into the system, why wouldn't you go get 2 pieces for that person? I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah.
But trades are going to happen in sports, and this is a first step. It's historic. It's cool. I was happy to see it. I was like, oh, cool, a trade. I'm not saying let's get trade happy, but that's cool. I like it.
Well, also, I mean, essentially, it's halfway through their year, and they're
Yeah.
going for it. There's teams going for it. Like that's what we love to see as fans. Like,
Mm.
yeah, they're going for it. Great, I love this. You know what I mean? Like, where's the? There's no problem here. There's teams that are going for it that want to win. That makes this league more prestigious because teams want to win. So
Mhm.
I don't understand the problem, but people always have to whine and complain about something. Speaking of whining and complaining about something, this is a quote that came up on the internet. It's from the Hockey Beast _com. And I just thought this was funny. It says, hockey is just the most fascinating blend of, quote, suck it up, be a man, and play through that broken leg, end quote. And quote, that expletive deleted, took a hard shot on our empty net. This has hurt our feelings. He must die, end quote. And that was probably from a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, more than likely,
Mhm.
because again, they're soft and they're sad that they got a slap shot taken on their empty net. And like you said at the beginning of the show, maybe you should be dominating a team that sucks and not have to be an empty net. But hey, who are we? You're welcome. Come at me, Toronto Maple Leafs fans, at Barn Chipper Pod. I'm waiting for your explanations. The final thing that I want to leave you with, Justin, we've been kind of hitting here and there all year of where has this guy been? Well, guess what, Justin? 3-time Stanley Cup champion Phil Kessel, Phil the Thrill, is purportedly in Vancouver to meet with the Vancouver Canucks. This was posted 19 hours ago from Spit and Chicklets. The fact that the Canucks have invited Phil the Thrill to meet with them, I love this because, again, the Canucks are ahead of everybody this year, making moves, doing something to show we believe in this squad. We're going to add to the squad, and we plan on winning. I love this. And I've chirped Phil the Thrill before, but this guy is a 3-time Stanley Cup champion. I've said things, I've chirped him in the past before, but those 2 Penguin runs, he was an integral part of winning those 2 cups. He helped Vegas get through last season. He only played 4 games in the playoffs, but he got them to that point in the year. Like, he is a solid player. I don't know how, because he's not in shape. Somehow he plays so well by not being in shape at all. It's crazy to me.
Well, you know what does Vancouver need? Depth and
Depth.
playoff experience. Depth and playoff experience. It doesn't get more experience than 3 cups.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
You love to see it, and this just keeps circling back to like what we've been saying the last couple weeks, man. Love to see this for Vancouver because number 1, they're legit. Number 2, they're going for it. Even if they don't win the cup this year, they went for it. They made the moves. They tried to, hey, let's dial in. Let's get it done this year. Love to see that, man. Absolutely love it.
And to actually praise Phil Kessel too. Like, he had the Iron Man streak, right? For most games started in a row. He literally said all year, like, I don't even care about the streak. I just want to play. He's an absolute team guy. He just wants to win. And I love that from any player.
Mhm.
Like, he just wants to win. He doesn't care about individual stats. He doesn't even have to play every day. He doesn't care about that. He just wants to win. And boy, you know what? I might get a number 81 Canucks sweater if he joins the squad. To be honest, I absolutely love that from Phil Kessel. And actually, there's one more thing. The Stadium Series is this Saturday, February 17th. Your boys are playing the Philadelphia Flyers at MetLife Stadium. Justin, you're going to be watching the game.
Oh, of course. I will be cursing. I will be. I mean, it's. I'll say this. Corey and I have kind of been back and forth with each other over the last couple of years because when Philly's good, New Jersey's bad. When New Jersey's good, Philly's bad. And this season, this game means something. There's stakes on the line. New Jersey's 6 points back of Philly, and Philly's clinging on to that 3rd spot from the Metro. This means something. New Jersey has the Kings in between, and I'm hoping we can get the points out of the Kings because I don't like the way the boys match up against Philly, but this is big, and I don't think they thought it was going to be as high stakes when they picked New Jersey and Philadelphia in February, as it turns out that it's going to be. So love to see it. And yeah, I'll be watching and cursing and wishing I wasn't watching. And when they lose, I will cry and it will hurt my fifis.
Oh, come on now. Hurt my fifi. Maybe they'll take an empty net shot. An empty net clapper. Well, I mean, even though I know I said this is the last thing is the empty net, we're supposed to be getting out of here, but even though Philly's in that third slot position at the Metro, like we talked about earlier, whoever wins, I mean, essentially, if the Devs win, you're looking at a potential, a big swing, not necessarily in the standings, but I mean, that gets the Devs right into that second play wild card slot tied with Detroit. You know what I mean? And if they lose, that could put them further down the line with the Islanders and the Caps coming right up behind them and the Penguins, right? So it actually is a big game. Even though, again, Philly's in that third slot in the Metro, both teams are kind of having a similar year in the sense of like Philly is, of course, outperforming and Devils are underperforming, but they're not that far apart is what I mean. So they're kind of having a similar year. So it does mean something. So it's great when these special events, these special games mean something. So
yeah.
So again, February 17th is Saturday, the Stadium Series, the Philadelphia Flyers versus the New Jersey Devils. That's all we got for today. We went longer than we expected, but we always do that. So hopefully you enjoyed that. You know what to do, and we'll be back next week. And next week it'll be a pre-show before I go on the barn trip. So we probably will talk about that a little bit. So until then, everybody stay safe out there. Keep your head up and play to the whistle and take all the empty net clappers that you want. Stick taps and Sully's boys. Clap it up.